Valley Club, what are the best teams in Marvel Strike Force that you should be building, and what are the total trash teams that you should be avoiding? In this video, we're ranking every single team in Marvel Strike Force from best to worst, so you could build the best, avoid the trash, and if you're ready for all that, then you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button, and let's go smash it! And welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am ValleyFlyin. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're ready to discuss every single team in Marvel Strike Force and rank them from best to worst. But before we get to all that, if this is your first time here on the channel, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. At least 5 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. Usually there's more question answer videos, news videos, gameplay videos, reveal videos, everything help your experience in Marvel Strike Force. But before we get to today's countdown, I do want to give a big shout out to each and every one of you that watched this video the last time we did this, about 2 months ago. We do this every few months or so to give you an update on what is going on in the meta, where these teams are falling, where these teams are rising, and where these new teams are ranking. Well, let's start in with today's list for January of 2024. And the best teams, these are teams reserved for the best in Marvel Strike Force today. The arena teams that are very valuable in multiple game modes. Super important teams are going to be teams like your raid teams. You need these raid teams, especially if you're in incursion raids. You're going to need these teams. Also, teams that have value in other game modes as well, not just the raids. Good teams to have. These are teams that you probably should build. But after you built these best of the best and super important teams, you're going to need them in Marvel Strike Force. Extremely niche teams are teams that have very targeted values. So maybe they're very good at one thing, maybe they're good at a couple things, but they are not used in multiple areas of the game. And trash teams, these are teams you should be avoiding, you should not build. Let's start in with the first team. We're going in alphabetical order here, and we'll start with the A Force. Very good war team. Photon is a top tier war offense character, and the rest of the A Force is very good. That came along with the rework, so they're a very good team to have. A Force is excellent war, and you should be building them if you take war seriously. AIM has not had any value for a while. They are a trash team, not much to say about them. The Asgardians, I see them a little bit on war defense, and that is about it. The rest of the teams like Bifrost good in the raids, but the rest of the Asgardians, the hero Asgardians, normal Thor and everything like that, I don't think they have a lot of value, but with Dormammu, they can be tricky on war defense, so I'm going to place them as extremely niche. Astonishing X-Men, they did have value in the raids for a long time. You could even argue that Bishop and Jubilee might have a little bit of value, but overall right now they are a trash team. Not a lot of reason to build the extreme, or not a lot of reason to build the Astonishing X-Men. Moving on to the Bifrost, well, they are a raid team. You're going to need them in the raids. They are the first section of the Incursion 2 raids, so you could argue that this is the most important raid team because they're the first few nodes, but yes, very good. But outside of that, Val, very good in Dark Dimension 6. You might want to bring a character like Beta Ray Bill into Dark Dimension 6 as well, but very little value for the rest of this Bifrost team outside of that. But because they are in the raids and they're the first raid team that you're going to need, I'd say they're super important right now. Ionic Avengers, they were part of that tech raid solution. Well, as soon as we got the invaders, well, they lost all of their value, and I don't even use them as part of their teams and hybrid teams or anything like that anymore. So Bionic Avengers, they have moved down to trash. Black Order, they got a rework a few months ago, became very valuable in war. I don't use them too much in other game modes. Not valuable in arena, not really valuable in the raids. I don't really see them too often in Crucible. I do see them a little bit in defense, and for that reason, their value in war and Crucible, well, they are a good team to have. Moving on, Brotherhood, well, they have not been valuable for a while. Yes, Magneto got a rework, but he's good on the Death Sea team, not good on the Brotherhood team. They are a trash team. Dark Hunters, they are very good for war offense. I use them against the Heroes for Hire team, but outside of that, I don't really see too much value from the Dark Hunters. So because Heroes for Hire is still a popular war meta defense team, I place them in an extremely niche category right now. Darkhold, they were one of the best teams out there. Use some elements in arena, use some elements in the raids, use elements in Crucible and war. Right now, they're very good in Crucible, very good in war. So I think they're a very super important team. Death Seed, While they used to be the mutant solution for the incursion raids, they have dropped down with the emergence of the Extreme X-Men. You'll still see them sometimes in Crucible on defense. You'll still see them sometimes in War. But I would say at this point right now, the Death Sea team is just a good team to have. Moving on to the Eternals, lots of value for these two characters, and these characters were so good. I think they did plan to make the full 5-person Eternals team, but Cersei, Icarus, so good that they just released them and said, yeah, we don't need to release it anymore. They are super important. They've been around for a long time, and yeah, super important. I've used Icarus in multiple game modes today, and Cersei as well. So very good. Moving on to the Fantastic Four. My goodness, there's not much to say about them. They're pretty trash. Thing got moved on to the new Avengers, but outside of that, Fantastic Four, pretty trash. The Gamma team, very good team. Very good in Cosmic Crucible, very good in War. And that's about it right now. Red Hulk, you could argue he has value in other game modes, but Gamma is a super important team right now. The Guardians, there's not much use for the Guardians right now. Maybe you could argue Star-Lord as that energy battery for multiple teams, but the rest of the Guardians not really using them. Maybe Drax as well for that pre-match taunt, but overall, Guardians a pretty trash team. Not much to say about Hand either. Hand has been trash for a while. I know Nobu can revive characters even when he's dead, but even with that, the rest of the Hand, not a lot of value. So Hand is a trash team at this point. Moving on to the Heroes for Hire team. Well, I still see them in War defense. And if you bring in the wrong team, they still can bring some problems for you. So they're extremely niche team. They're still very good in War defense and in the Gamma raids. If you have that defender section, maybe for some reason you don't have the secret defenders built up, well, you could use your Heroes for Hire in that section as well. Hydra, man, they haven't been used for a while, but they are a pretty trashy team. Infestation, great on War defense. You could argue that big time Spider-Man has use in other game modes like Cosmic Crucible, even Arena, but overall this Infestation team, good for War defense, not much good for much else other than that. Infinity Watch, they have been around for a while, and they're gonna be around and be very relevant for a long time now. That early safeguard, that early immunity, that early evades that they have from Nebula makes them very valuable, and the combination of those three things is gonna make them a part of the meta for a while. So yes, they're a very good team to have and a very good team to build. Inhumans, man, I wish this team was better. And at one point they were very good to have. But right now the Inhumans, even Black Bolt, even Yo-Yo, trash team to have. The Invaders, the solution for the skill section of the Incursion 2 raids. And while they aren't really that great in the raids right now with the harder difficulties in Incursion 2, they still are the best solution that we have right now. So for that, the Invaders, they are a super important team, but yeah, they're going to be moving down to a good team to have or extremely niche very soon as we get a replacement for them. But right now, like I said, they're the best thing that we have for the raids. All right, Nowhere team. You could argue they still are the best War non-hybrid team. They're good on offense, they're good on defense. Wherever you want to use them in War, they're gonna get the job done for you. The problem with the Nowhere team is they lose value in every other game mode. Yes, you can use Nova in Cosmic Crucible. You can bring them into Dark Dimension 6. But outside of that, I'd say this is a very good team to have. Very good in War, but very niche outside of that. Kree is trash and got even trashier because now you don't even need them to unlock Nick Fury. So Kree got moved down. If there was a tier below trash, that's where Kree would be. Marauders are there as well. So are the mercenaries, and it looks like the mercenaries may be getting some value, maybe not soon, but within the next few months, because Panda Pool did get the vote for the next Merc team. So we may have some resurgence of the Mercs, but as of right now, they are a trash team. The Masters of Evil, one of the best Cosmic Crucible teams. Kang, one of the best characters overall in the game. I'd say right now, the Masters of Evil, super important team. They are needed to counter whatever you have in Crucible. And yeah, Kang makes the job easy for a lot of different game modes. So very good team. Military skill, it pains me to say this every single time, but they are a trash team. I like the Yelena character. I like the Red Guardian character. Unfortunately, in Marvel Strike Force, they're not very good. All right, the new Avengers. You can make the argument instead of the Nowhere team that this is the best non-hybrid war team. Very, very good in war offense, war defense, kind of like the Nowhere team. This team will get it done in war. Problem comes outside of that, though. They lose a lot of value outside of war. Yes, I do see them a lot in Cosmic Crucible defense, but that defense is countered pretty easily. And for that, I would say these new Avengers, very, very good team. Very good team to have, very good team to build. New Warriors, one of the best Cosmic Crucible teams out there. Unfortunately, outside of that, they lose a lot of value. Very good in Cosmic Crucible. They're okay in war. They can't really take out a lot of the meta teams, but they can handle some other teams or punch down on them. But yes, I say that because of the rise of super-skrull, because of the rise of Extreme X-Men, they aren't able to counter as much in Cosmic Crucible. And say, instead of one of the best teams, I say right now, they are super important. Hive Mind team, this is the next bio solution of the raids. We don't have the full team here yet. We don't even know the full kit for Red Guardian, but I'd say their floor, the worst they're gonna be because they are a raid team, is gonna be a super important team. So I'd say right now, the Hive Mind team is super important. And I say when they come out, they're gonna be super important as well. They may rise up to best of the best, but the lowest they're gonna be is that super important category. Power Armor, my goodness, I wanted this team to be good for so long. I wanted to get reworks, but they're pretty trash. They haven't gotten reworked for a long time, and I don't see them getting reworked for a long time either. Pegasus, I was debating whether they're one of the best or super important teams. They do have some value outside of the raids, which is excellent for a raid team. I'd say they are in between, like low best of the best or a very high super important, but Pegasus, very, very good. Kestrel, one of the mythic characters that you need to build for Dark Dimension 7, or that you probably should build for Dark Dimension 7. You can now unlock her through Dark Dimension 1, and she is what makes this team tick. So yeah, Pegasus, very, very good. Don't skip on building them. Hemtech, man, you can get some ghosts from value from Ghosts in Dark Dimension, but not anymore. This team is trash. Do not build them at all. Ravagers, yeah, even with Star-Lord, T'Challa, and Yondu's reworks, they still are a trash team. You can bring Stitcher in to Dark Dimension for that cheap solution, but Stitcher's not going to do much in whatever Dark Dimension you bring that character into. So you're just bringing that character for that because they're cheap. And the Rebirth team, the team that will fall off once the Hive Mind is fully here, but they do have a little bit of value right now still. They are still technically the current bio raid team. And you can use them in Dark Dimension, and they have some war bonuses as well on war defense, making them a little trickier to beat on war defense. I'd say for right now, they are a good team to have, but once this Hive Mind team fully comes to the game, they may be dropping further. Shield has not been relevant for a while. They are trash. The Sinister Six. Now, Superior and Sinister Six do have a lot of overlapping characters, but just talking about the Sinister Six, the Vultures, the Mysterios, the rest of the non-Superior Six characters, even Doc Ock, because Doc Ock kind of counts on that team. This is a very good team to have. Very, very good on war, very good in Cosmic Crucible. You can take cheaper characters like Vulture into Dark Dimension 6 as an awesome choice. So I would say for that, Sinister Six is a very good team to have, and a Superior Six is one of the best teams. They are, I'm using Green Goblin in Arena right now, so pieces of this team is involved in the Arena meta. Also using this team, smashing whatever they face in Cosmic Crucible, the best Cosmic Crucible team right now. Also very good on war because of the bonuses that the Sinister Six got. So yeah, Superior Six, one of the best teams in the game right now. They are one of the best of the best. The Supernatural team, all the good characters from this team either moved on to Dark Hunters or other teams. So Supernatural is a pretty trash team right now. Secret Avengers, they were the skill solution to the raids, but not really seeing Captain Sam, not really seeing Maria, not really seeing Sharon Carter anywhere anymore. So for that, I say they got moved down from a niche team to a trash team. Same thing with the Symbiotes. The Symbiotes, some of them, Carnage, Venom, are getting reworked for the Hive Mind team, but the rest of them, Symbiotes as a whole, still pretty trashy, unfortunately. Shadowland, not much use for them either. They are a pretty trash team. Underworld does have some value in war, very good on war offense, very good on war defense, and for that, I would say they are still an extremely niche team. Uncanny X-Men. Now, there are rumors that this team may be getting reworked in the future. Maybe Professor X is coming to the game. Maybe they're gonna be having more synergy with the Extreme X-Men. They don't have any of that right now, so for that, I would say they are trash. Yeah, I guess they do have some synergy with the Extreme X-Men because Extreme X-Men do have just X-Men tags in a lot of their callouts, but yeah, the Uncanny X-Men is a trash team. Secret Defenders involved in the arena meta right now. They are strong on Crucible defense, strong on War defense. This is one of the best teams in the game. Build them up. You may want to hold off on Photon because I would rate Photon around the A-Force level, but Secret Defenders, I'm talking about Black Cat, Miss Marvel, Hard Light, and Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes. They are some of the best characters out there right now. Tangled Web, they're still going to have a lot of value for Spider Weaver for a while. That charged mechanic, reducing the accuracy of your opponents, that mechanic is going to be relevant for a long time. And I'd say the Tangled Web, the very, very good team to have. Undying team, great team to have in War. I don't know what this cannot beat. Every team I've faced with this full Undying team, with Hela, Greg, Zombie Iron Man, and Zombie Juggernaut, they have beaten every team I've faced with them. But they are really good in War. I do use Hela and Zombie Iron Man in Cosmic Crucible. I don't use them in any other game mode. And because of their limited use in War and possibly Cosmic Crucible, I'd say the Undying is a very, very good team to have. Maybe even on the cusp of super important. But yeah, Undying, very, very good. The Unlimited team, this team is still relevant, and I'm just talking about Gambit and Rogue, maybe even Dazzler in Cosmic Crucible, but that is about it. Not really seeing Phantom X or Sunfire anywhere anymore. This team is losing value, but I'd say right now they're still a good team to have. They're not a super important team, but they're still a good team to have. The Wakandans and War Dogs, I'd say they're also a very good team to have as well. Very good in War. Not really seeing them too much in Cosmic Crucible. They are losing value, but I say they are still a good team to have because they have value in War and in Cosmic Crucible. Moving on to the Wave 1 Avengers, again, like some of these teams down here, all the good characters have moved on to other teams except for Hawkeye. And yeah, not a very good team anymore. Weapon X still has some value. Omega Red has a lot more value, but the Weapon X team as a whole is an extremely niche team. Weapon X, Omega Red, you're going to get a little more value in other game modes as well, but you're not going to use the rest of this Weapon X team in other game modes, but they are extremely niche. The Web Warriors, there's no use to build the Web Warriors anymore at all. Maybe if you don't have that Morgan Le Fay unlock and you don't have, and you're trying to get through this Horseman Scourges, maybe you could build them up, but outside of that, you're not needing it for the raids or any other content. So yeah, if you have your Morgan Le Fay, don't touch these guys at all. Same thing with the X Factor, not a very good team. They were a War team, pretty good in War, but yeah, they've lost some value. X-Force, kind of like the Mercs. Right now, they don't have a lot of value. We may be getting some reworks for them with the new Merc team that Panda Pool is going to be a part of. We did have some diamonds as a reward for as one of the events around the time of Panda Pool's voting for Deadpool and Domino. So X-Force may be getting a rework, maybe moving higher in the list, but right now they are a trash team. Extreme X-Men, great in the raids, great outside of the raids, one of the most problematic defenses in Cosmic Crucible. For that, I would say they are one of the best teams right now. And Young Avengers, Squirrel Girl does have some value. Echo is used all the time in Room 1 of Cosmic Crucible, but I'd say outside of that, this team as a whole is still an extremely niche team. So that is a rating of every single team in the game. Now, there are some characters that are kind of their own teams, like Apocalypse, super-skrull, but as far as all the full teams, that is where I rate them. Let me know your thoughts on the list, though. Do you agree, disagree with the list? Should any teams be moved higher? Should I lower any teams even more? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Hopefully this video did provide you some value, and if it did, leave it a like. It is free for you, and it tremendously helps out the ValleyFlyin channel. And if you want to check out what are the best characters to farm right now in Marvel Strike Force for 2024, check out the video up there, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.